Greatsword, 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 greatsword. So this is the Enryu, your shotgun equivalent, more or less. Say hi, Enryu. It's a pretty standard heavy hitter weapon, and we love it for that. It's specifically good for big single targets that are hard to take down with any other weapon. Now let me be the first to admit that its magic attack is a lot more style over substance. By which I mean it's not the most useful magic attack. It throws fire in a sort of line in front of you, and there's not too many enemies that'll just line up to be hit. But there's no such thing as bad magic in Onimusha. That's what you get for taking my orbs. Now we need to talk about actually enhancing stuff in Onimusha, because there's something of a problem here. On the good side of things, everything that you can upgrade in Onimusha aside from your consumable items can go up to level 3. What's much less cool is that the dragon orbs that you put into your gauntlet are upgraded separately from your weapons. Upgrading your weapon obviously increases their attack damage, which is good, so why would you want to upgrade the orbs? Well, see, technically they're keys that you have to spend your upgrade resources on. Those ugly fleshy things covering the doors, those are the locks for your orbs to break, basically. They're demon seals. Depending on how many you see on the door corresponds to what level your orb needs to be, and I don't think I need to spell out why this is a problem. If you really want to simplify things, just make sure that your orbs are always at or above the level that your weapons are. It'll save you headache in the long run, and grinding in a survival horror is not the most fun experience, as I'm sure you can tell. Interesting thing that a lot of people don't bring up though, upgrading your orb directly increases your magic damage with your magical attacks, of course bound to the weapon itself. So it's not like it's a useless key upgrade, it does help your damage, it's just, you know, it's not going to be your bread and butter regular workhorse attacks. So these things, the names of which I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
Garang.
I'm gonna be honest, whenever I introduced these guys, I was trying to do a little joke of like, oh, well, these guys suck too, you know, blah blah whatever. But, we're just not gonna do that. They take the souls out of any enemy that you kill. Once they've collected any number of souls, they'll begin to fly away. They'll indicate this by spinning really fast and progressively get faster as they spin. So just kill them and they'll drop everything and collect your souls. Yo, what up? Finally made it to the castle proper. I'm gonna try to cool it on the Resident Evil comparisons, but I mean at the same time, if you played Resi 1, is this not just the Spencer Mansion? Maybe you don't see that yet, but trust me, you'll see it in time. In other news, I would like to take this opportunity to discuss some of the lore surrounding Onimusha. We've been picking up these little books all across the game so far, and that's gonna continue the longer we play the game. So why don't we take a look real quick. Before we picked up the Ryzan, there have been these little journal entries written by a guy named Samyu. Him, along with his master Sogen, have been basically fighting demons for a whole minute now. Samyu has felt the need to detail all of his findings and stuff that he's been seeing along this journey, but he himself is not a fighter. His master is though, and he also happens to be another Oni warrior, just like our boy Samanosuke here. We don't have like a whole lot to go off of right now in terms of this little side story, but who knows, maybe keep an eye out and see if we see Sogen or Samyu here. Looks like we have another book, and this one's pretty nondescript, although, judging by the language, I'm willing to bet it's Guildenstern. I guess Nobunaga has been taken pretty well to the whole serving demon kind thing. And the name of the big bad demon seems to be Fortinbras. Guess we'll keep that in mind too. You know, just for posterity's sake. Right, okay. I see where this is going. Can't do anything else here, though. I guess we need another weapon. Magic refill station, I'll take it. That's nice. What? Hi? Okay.
Stop! Let me go!
Whoa, uh-oh, can I even make a joke about this?
Let that child alone.
What is going on here?
Stop! Huh?
Who are you? And what do you want with that boy?
I should ask you the same thing. You are not working for Saito clan, are you? Wait. Can you be Samanosuke Akechi? Yes, you are! I cannot believe you are here of all places. I am a servant of the Oda clan. My name is Tokichiro Kinoshita.
This man will eventually conquer the world under the name Hideyoshi Toyotomi.
True facts.
What is a servant of the Oda clan doing here?
Wait, first we must talk business. Tell me, Samanosuke, are you interested in serving our clan? My Lord Nobunaga Oda would welcome a great samurai like yourself.
I serve no one. My life is mine and mine alone to command.
I see. However, I will not give up yet. We shall meet again.
Man, what a weirdo. Another note from Samayo, just detailing how awful demons are. Yeah, that checks out. Like anything based off of Resident Evil, we got a bunch of locked doors and no keys to go with them.
Samanosuke, is there something you wanted to ask this young man?
Do not be afraid.
No! You want to hurt me like that other samurai did.
That is not true. Please, tell me your name.
I am Yumamaru.
Yumimaru, you must tell me. What did that samurai want with you?
Why should I know?
Fine, then why are you here? Who brought you here?
Yep, there he goes.
Go after him while I look for Princess Yuki.
I will.
Out of all the locations or just general things that get stuck in my head from this game, for some reason this random hallway with the stairwell has just, I don't know, been residing in there. I don't know why that is, I really couldn't tell you, but just when I think of Onimusha, I think of this room. Do as I say and not as I do here. Cutting that rope releases a barrel that hits the bottom of a well way later on in the game, and that barrel contain... barrel? It's a bucket, not a barrel. The bucket has a power jewel in it, so if you want to get it early, just don't cut the rope as much as you want to. I have a weird personal vendetta against suspended items in Capcom games, and I don't know why. There's another thing like this in Resident Evil 4, but that's for a Resi 4 video. I just need to mention real fast, if any, and I mean any of y'all, either play this game or go back to it, do not sleep on the bow. This isn't just some piece of wood tied with a string, this is a magnum, and you get 2 of them. And with that, I'm gonna opt to hoard all of my ammo for a very specific purpose later on. Once again erring on the side of neat little wrinkles with this game, one of the cool secret mechanics you can do is actually save these foot soldiers. Doing so will have them give you an item as thanks. They're not any good in a fight against any demon to speak of, and as a result of that, they don't do any damage and they have some pretty tiny health bars. This is also maybe not the best possible example of something like this, just because I don't know how to save these specific soldiers. I never figured out how. But if I don't include it here, I'm gonna forget later on, so just to put the information there. This book is possibly my favorite lore entry across the entire series. And that's because of its wider real-world implications. Apparently, Nobunaga is not the only human to undergo some sort of revival surgery by demons. Some of the names mentioned in passing are Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great. Like, oh, okay, apparently demons have been just doing this for a whole minute. Although I will admit it kinda makes me wish we had some sort of spin-off games where these guys were their own separate antagonists, but oh well. Also, I just want to lay this out there, more games desperately need the secret ninja sliding hidden doors and castles stuff. This is exactly my kind of thing. Oh, and speaking of things I'm likely to forget, long-arm demons. The growl that they make scared me as a kid. Yeah, that's kind of it. Well, that and then also the gatekeeper guy, the one hanging down from the rope.
I have been able to uncover Yumemaru's identity. He is the son of a farmer.
What?
4 years ago, his parents were killed at war. Princess Yuki found him crying alone and brought him to the castle.
I see.
And I also heard that Princess Yuki raised him as if he were her own brother.
So he stole his way into the castle to save Princess Yuki. Why then is Tokichiro after Yumemaru?
Something seems to be going on. What? Oh. Samanosuke, we must find a way out!
Yes.
Oh boy, it's time for Onimusha's big puzzle room, yay! So this part is pretty infamous to anybody who's ever played this game, and that's gonna be for a couple reasons. On the bright side of things, this is the first time we're playing as Kaede, and she controls completely differently to Samanosuke, so that's kinda cool. This isn't exactly the best place to talk about her, you know, playstyle or anything, so we'll save that for later. For now, the trap room, what's it about, what makes it so bad? Well, for starters, it's a really long segment. None of the puzzles are particularly complex or anything, but if you ever mess up here, well, often that's going to result in you dying, and because this game works on a save system, if you die, you get brought back to your last save point, and that's a pretty big issue, I'm sure you can tell. Ow. There's a missable armor set for Samanosuke here. It's basically free, you just have to remember that you can access it. I think it might protect a little bit better than the starting armor, but mostly you want it so that the, whatever those floating skull things are, they don't steal your magic from you if you have this armor equipped, which is kind of cool, and also it looks snazzy. This first room isn't so bad, but the second room is notably worse. What do we got, like a tic-tac-toe board going on? What is this? Oh. So as I'm sure you can tell, we take turns controlling either Samanosuke or Kaede to sort of go through this puzzle room. Speaking purely as a person who's played this game a lot, this next room isn't all that bad, but if you have your brain turned completely off, falling through one of these spike pits results in instant death, which means you have to go through this room and the previous one again just after your save point. The X's or the crosses indicate which tile is going to drop out from under you. So just give it some thought before you make any decisions and, you know, fumble but don't fail at it. Trace the paths that will become hazardous, just so you don't accidentally kill one of your characters. Now this second room also isn't all that bad, but the third room is awful.
I wonder what this room is.
Huh?
Samanosuke! What happened? Are you all right?
I seem to be trapped.
Is there a way you can get out of there? Samanosuke, wait there. I will help you.
So for the first time ever in this series, we actually have a nondescript timer in this segment. Which means, yay, pressure of time in a high-stakes scenario. This puzzle sucks. To start us off here, your indicator for how high the water level is getting is this little meter on the left side of the screen. Your only objective is to push these two symbols so that they touch at the bottom center of the board. This doesn't sound all that bad, but if you know anything about early 2000s block pushing puzzles, yeah, it's pretty awful. And what's worse, the moment that gauge hits the top, Samanosuke dies and you have to do all 3 of these rooms over again. The stakes and tension are appreciated, but yeah, there's a reason this is the worst room in the entirety of Onimusha 1. I would say if you're playing by less than legal means, then just go ahead and use a save state, but, you know, don't have to if you don't wanna. I will say that if this is the first time you're playing this game, you're guaranteed to fail at least once. I, on the other hand, got it first try, let's go!
We are safe now. I will go search for clues.
Fine.
Well, I mean, that wasn't so bad, I guess. You know, so long as you know what you're doing. Onimusha is a game that's not really all that hard most of the time. Especially if you are familiar with the game, it can feel a lot more like a power trip than a survival horror. At the same time, though, if you manage your resources poorly, or you fail a puzzle, or, I don't know, something else weird happens, the game can get kinda hard sometimes. And I say this more as random spikes in difficulty as opposed to regular progression or player-made mistakes. One of those old games have problems and that builds character kinda deals, I guess. Sick.
Let child alone.
Yumimaru!
Samanosuke! We meet again. So, have you decided to serve the Oda clan?
Move!
It is too late for the boy. And since you have learned that our Lord Nobunaga will rule the world with the demons, you should not bark up the wrong tree.
You're insane! What you are doing will lead to innocent people being used as food for the demons.
The strong will prey upon the weak. Farmers obey samurai, and humans obey demons.
You arrogant fool!
Our dark ceremony will take place soon. Princess Yuki's skull will be filled with her own blood. And when our Lord Nobunaga drinks it, the victory of the Oda clan over the Saito clan will be guaranteed! Ah! See you again, Samanosuke!
Yeah, okay, I guess we'll talk about the game's literal only collectible. So, fluorite. What it do? Fluorite are these little blue rocks scattered all throughout the game. They don't have any indicators for where you can find them until much later on in the game, and there are a total of 20 throughout any given playthrough. If you collect 10, then you unlock a minigame in the main menu that gives you something else when you complete that minigame, and collecting all 20 will give you a costume for Samanosuke whenever you do a new playthrough. I'm not going to show any of that part necessarily, just because there's nothing necessary about it. I'd argue that the 10 fluorite benchmark is much more important than the 20, so I'm not going to collect every single one of them, but I'll be sure to mention how many we end up with at the end of this playthrough.
Help me! Let me out!
Child.
Can anybody hear me?
Well, I think I know what's in our immediate future. Now wait a second, is that an Oni gauntlet that demon is using? Well, that's kinda weird, I wonder how he got that. Well, turns out it was Guildenstern again, and his pride and joy experiment, Marcellus. Marcellus is a once Oni warrior that wields the Wind Orb Arashi. Yes, this is in fact the same Oni orb that you're using currently, just wind elemented. Going through wikis and stuff to do some proper research on this game, I don't actually know if this is Sogen right here, or if it's his little rider buddy that he's tagging along with. Depending on where you get the information from, it might actually be another Oni warrior that helped Sogen. Although I don't know, whenever I look at videos in this game, they just say that Marcellus is Sogen, so I don't know, up to you I guess. Nonetheless, this fight is really cool. Two samurais battling atop a roof is a weirdly consistent thing in the Japanese-centered video games that I've always played. In terms of talking about the boss fight proper, it's also pretty cool. Marcellus has a lot of wide, sweeping hit attacks because, you know, wind does that. And he's no slouch whenever he can actually land a hit on you either. The shield that he wields can break if you do enough damage to it. This will leave him open to any and all of your attacks thereafter, and once that shield is broken, it's more or less a proper samurai duel. Kinda, sorta. It's a neat fight, but I feel like the Osterich fight is just harder from a beginning playthrough kind of angle, right? Once you get to Marcellus, you're already pretty confident in your capabilities because you have to beat Osterich first. That does not mean it's a bad fight, though. Perfectly serviceable. And here we have our final Oni weapon of the game, the Shippuden. It always felt kind of weird to me that there's only 3 Oni weapons in the first Onimusha game, but for what it's worth, each weapon sort of rounds each other out pretty well. And don't worry, we'll get other, slightly less special weapons as the game goes on anyway. So what's a Shippu about? Well, namely, it's a really fast, double-headed Naginata. That sure was a lot of words, what does any of that mean? Well, to keep a long story short, it's really good at hitting dudes who don't want to be hit normally. Your basic attack is actually pretty good at hitting multiple enemies at once, but like the other 2 weapons in our roster, the magic attack is where this weapon really shines. What do you mean an AoE attack that cleaves multiple enemies at once? I mean, yeah, sure, I'll take it. And because magic in Onimusha is incapable of doing bad damage anyway, this is pretty good. It's objectively better than the Inryu's magic attack anyway, so I mean, hey, I'll take it.
My sister, please save her.
Don't worry, you're safe now.
Please, you have to save her.
I give you my word. I will save Princess Yuki. Kaede, do you know why Princess Yuki took care of this boy? Princess Yuki was born the daughter of a feudal lord, and thus raised for an arranged marriage. She has had no freedom whatsoever. So when she meets someone else who's in need, she wants to help them. In this world, only the strong survive.
Samanosuke.
Let me tell you about the ways of the world, Yamamaru.
The world?
"4 years ago, my uncle Mitsuhide pressured me to leave and see the world. I have met people who speak and look different than us. I have experienced things that I never would have imagined. There are infinite things that we do not understand. There is beauty and freedom all around us. You owe it to yourself and everyone to see these things and then share them with the people of this country. You must help them to understand the absurdity of fighting over such small portions of land on this tiny island."
Help!
Who are you?
My name is Nui. I serve Princess Hatsu. Princess Yuki is underground. Oh!
You all right? Kaede, we have little time. I have to find Princess Yuki. You watch over these 2.
I will.
So, I'm gonna be honest, I don't exactly know where to put this next part, so I'm just gonna sorta plop it on right here. Maybe you, as a newcomer to the series, watching this video for the first time, have never seen Onimusha, right? That's fair, it's kinda niche. With all this cool stuff going on and with all these ideas going out, why haven't you heard of this game? A fair question, if you are indeed asking it. And since we need to kill some time anyway, let's just go ahead and talk about it. What was the development cycle like for Onimusha? Well, for starters, Keiji Inafune was the producer for the game. If that name rings any bells, yeah, he's the Mega Man guy. From what I'm able to gather, Inafune basically wanted to have another slice at that, survival horror Resident Evil pie, so to speak. He himself has not worked on any Resident Evils, so instead, wanting a new IP to sort of mess around with and see where he could take it, he opted to make Onimusha. And this is all well and good, but that doesn't really answer the question of why is this game so niche. Well, the truth is, it's not if you're playing this in Japan, where it ended up selling gangbusters. The sole reason for this? A man named Takeshi Kaneshiro. We're getting into real name territory for Japanese people, and as a result of that, I'm probably definitely going to mispronounce a lot of names here. I might have been doing that the whole time, but because these are real people, I don't want to come off as accidentally insensitive, so just fair warning, I'm American speaking. Takeshi Kaneshiro is a big deal in Japan. He's a singer, he's a movie star, but what he isn't is a game designer. The general strangeness surrounding his involvement with Onimusha, if you wanted to compare it to something, would be like if Tom Cruise was a part of an American dev team for a game and not just for a movie he released. Or starred in, or whatever, I don't watch movies. Now, when you think about it, this would normally be a recipe for disaster, right? Somebody who's made media before but isn't a game designer having direct involvement in a game? Yeah, it's kinda weird, but as it turns out, Kaneshiro's inclusions into the game were kind of the thing that made it sell. Not just his name, but really he was also playing the game, going through and playtesting it, changing things he didn't like or thought could be done better. A lot of the cinematics were directed by him, or at least there was some involvement for him to sorta guide the process of it, so to speak. There's a reason why his name is on the back of the box, and there's a reason why his name is on the title screen, is really what I'm saying. And while the name doesn't mean anything to you or me, the name does happen to be important to people overseas, really important. If I'm being completely transparent, I don't necessarily have any stakes when involving this guy into talking about this video or anything. But it's important to note just to tell you, hey, this game was bigger in Japan. A lot bigger, as it turns out, and as a result, I really can't do this entire idea justice. But just know that he comes back in the rest of the games too, to also involve himself in those other games. An actor, a singer. Still not a game designer. In fact, the only games he's worked on are the Onimusha games. And because they have him as an actor resource, they not only used him to voice Samanosuke in the Japanese version of the game, they also modeled Samanosuke after Kaneshiro. The Japanese names are getting hard to pronounce now. Okay, sorry, anyway, where were we again? Well, I mean, every horror game needs a basement, I guess. But, weirdly, this basement isn't very big. I'm pretty sure it's only like 3 or 5 rooms. So we'll, knock it out real fast, I guess. Hey, what do you know, another booby trap. Best suggestion I can give for this, turn the lock-on, face the far wall, and then just sort of strafe past it. Your little dodge strafes are much faster than just regularly walking, so just do that anytime something trap-related happens. Oh hey, a laboratory in a Capcom game. Oh yep, there they go.
We meet again, Samanosuke. Still no interest in coming to work for the Oda clan?
For the last time, no!
I tried my best to help you. You just do not understand the true power of the demons. The time has come! Demons, prepare for the dark ceremony! Now you must suffer the consequences of your actions. I am sure by now, Kaede is in trouble.
Samanosuke, did you find anything?
What are you doing? Let go of me!
Samanosuke?
How dare you!
You are not experienced enough, are you?
A very special thank you to Stefan over on patreon.com. If you would like to join the names of people who get their names at the end of these credits and get access to early access video stuff, then donations start at $1 a month. I hope you enjoyed part 2, and I'll see you again for part 3. Have a good one, everybody.